So, so how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, hi, good morning.
Relaxing.
As usual.
I said relaxing.
Uh-huh. Relaxing. Okay, good to know that. Rest. How was your weekend? How where did you went and how you spent the weekend? I think this is the longest weekend in this month. Continuous back to back for 4 days all days.
Not in North, at least.
Mm,
Uh, no. As you suggested, I got myself a little time for a
yeah.
few walks after dinner and in the early morning. A
Oh,
good session, I would say.
yeah, yeah. Great. Great. Let's wait a couple of minutes. Okay, meantime, we'll do one thing. I hope you all are seeing my screen, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
meantime, let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Uh, can you all scan this QR code, or if you are attending from mobile, so go to this slido.com and enter this code, answer this question. Just if you are attending from mobile, go to slido.com and enter this number 2354024. Or else if you are attending from directly from your machine, just scan this QR code. Four people. Okay, perfect. Five people answered. I think we are on the call, 35 people. So if we exclude five people like KSR Mentors and me and Mahesh, so at least I'm expecting 20 to 25 votes for this. So far I got 8 votes. 10 people voted. Good. Okay, 14 people, 16. It's a basic level question and it's very easy question, straightforward. I expect 100% answer for the correct one. That's how it is going. Let's see. So far, 17 people answered. And one kind information, currently I am at my native hometown. So if you are hearing any some background noise, so just I would request you please bear with me for today's session. Anyhow, tomorrow again today night I'll traveling to Bangalore. Tomorrow morning I'll reach Bangalore. From tomorrow onwards there is no disturbances.
What is your native hometown?
Yeah, actually I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 21 people answered. Good. 22. Okay. Okay, fine. 23 people. If anyone joined now, just I am repeating again, please scan this QR code or please go to slido.com and enter this code, answer this question. Just Power BI is mainly used for what? Is it for website design? Is it for word processing or is it for video editing? or is it for data visualization and analysis? 23 people are answered. Let's wait for one more minute. 24. Yeah, fine. Okay, 25 people are answered. Okay, fine. So now, so let me go to my PPT. Okay, thank you all. Thanks for joining the day 3 session of this Power BI course. So let me give you a recap what we learned in last two videos. Just we will go on high level. So here if you see, this course is for data analytics and Power BI with Microsoft Fabric, and and we saw who should go for this skill. If you see no coding background, career transition and career gap, and non-IT to IT career switch, and freshers. And as per this agenda, so this is the agenda of this course and importance of data. So we need a language to talk with the database, and followed by Power BI, and at last we will discuss with what is the course outline also. So, and we saw a couple of examples like life before BI world and life after BI world. And so nowadays, any company is working for to acquiring new clients, to getting more revenue, to generate more profit for their companies. Even KS are also doing for that. And also we seen some of the examples like how the complaints are going, and we no need to depend on the single data point. We need to figure out what is behind that. So don't go and don't assume with only single data point. We need to validate what is the so how many data points are there. Also if we go about, and we saw one of the example like based on this 6 columns, if a normal data analyst, how many insight he given, and if you a professional data analyst, how many insights he given. Also we saw a importance of data analyzing with a lemon example of iPhone, that product promise fee. And also here if you see how much data stored in the Excel or CSV, and followed by why we need a database, and we need a language to communicate or to talk with the database. That's how SQL is here in the picture. And we saw some of the dashboards, and we saw some of the few data cleaning examples, and followed by, so these quotes are keep on hearing, data is the new currency, data is the new oil, like that. And also we saw one of the mobile example, like how much important while analyzing the data, because of one bad rating, the rating gone up to almost 3.7, and if we exclude that bad rating, again the rating is increased up to 4.28 stars. So we saw this importance of data, and we saw what is Power BI also, and why Power BI, how many tools are, I mean top BI tools are available in markets, and why we need to choose the Power BI and all. So already I given a 5 top reasons why we should go for Power BI. So as I mentioned, it's recognized by the Gartner, and it's a high search volume in the Google, and history and brand, and every month they are continuously releasing the update. Already we saw the right from the Power BI launch till 2024. Oh, by the way, did anyone researched where the 2025 Gartner Magic Quadrant stands for this Microsoft Power BI? I given a small task in our last
Yeah,
session.
it's in the leaders.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. Still, it's in the leader, correct?
Yes.
Yes, very good, very good. Thanks for researching. And also we saw how Power BI works majorly. We have a two components in Power BI, because where we need to build the report, we need to build the report in Power BI desktop. Once if it is done, how we can share? So we can share through Power BI services to my CEO or directors or end users. So already we saw on-premises problems. So because of that on-premises problems, we are going to increase maintenance cost. And so does it mean the Power BI is the one of the best tool? So does it mean we can overload, or we can burden it, or so we can use it for all purpose? So that's where here we saw the how much data we can store. So if it is Excel or CSV, we can store 10 lakhs data, 10 lakh rows of data. And if it is on-prem Oracle or MySQL, we can store up to 2 GB of data. So what if my data is 2 terabyte? For that, we saw a example called KSR Data Vision, this data example. So here, actually, the problem is not about money. So the problem is how we can maintain, how we can, suppose if the laptop is theft, so where is the data security? So if in future, so the data is grows up to 100 terabyte, do you think I will buy 100 laptops? So okay, money is not matter here, but how I can maintain, I need to hire 100 people. That's how here the challenge. For that, we entered into a cloud. So here I took a sample examples, how many videos are uploading in YouTube or your Google Photos, and how the data volume is increased across the past 15 years. So this many examples we saw now, and we saw a gym example also. Here, if you see, so buying a gym equipment versus using a gym membership. So if you see, just here, let me tell you. So here, actually, in last class, what we discussed, so everyone is going with the gym membership. Here, if you see, everyone is going with the gym membership. But see here, the cost is 1.5 lakhs average. If you take 1.5 lakhs, but here it is 15 or 20K per year. So 20K per year. So what if you use gym membership for 5 years? So obviously it will be a 1 lakh. Obviously it will be a 1 lakh. So after that, if you need to use again 10 years, it will be go up to 2 lakhs. Then this should be equal to this. So in this case, what we will do? So still, if you are choosing gym membership, or you are going to try to set up a gym equipment in your house. See here, I'm telling you, for 5 years, you are going to spend 1 lakh. And here, if you, this is one time settlement, one time install expenses. If you see here, one time expenses, let's assume it's a 1 lakh. So for 5 years here, we are going to pay the to gym membership 1 lakh. But here 1 lakh, but it's a lifetime investment. Now think and tell me, still you are going with gym membership, or still you will change your mind?
We'll
Come
go
on,
with
team.
gym membership.
Membership only.
I'll go with gym membership.
Any specific reason, team?
Because if we go with if we go with
We can
the
time
first option,
discontinue and then recontinue the membership.
Very
And
good, excellent.
this much it will be.
I can tell my
Yes, yes,
perspective.
yes, Malika, please go ahead.
Yeah. So my point of view is like it's based off my flexibility. I can just use it. If I need it, I can just use it. Otherwise, I can just.
Sorry, could you speak louder?
Yeah. My point of view is like mainly for the reason of us flexibility.
Okay. Okay, here my question is, which one you should choose? Is it gym membership or
Yeah.
setting up?
Because the membership I'm just choosing because of the flexibility because I can just use and access that anytime and I can
Yes,
just cancel that anytime. That's what
yes,
I'm
yes. Great,
choosing.
great. See, that I'll tell you. See, most of you are telling gym membership, it's good. So let's say you set up a gym equipment. Let's say this treadmill. If you set up this treadmill, suppose there is a repair. So again, you need to spend for the repair expenses. But here, there is no repair, there is no maintenance. If there is any equipment is damaged, then that gym people will take care of that. Just you need to pay the amount. That's how it should be. Yes, very good, fine. Now let me move to the next slide. So I took the couple of examples like DVD collection and streaming Netflix, or also owning a house versus renting a house. And that's where we come to the cloud computing. Why cloud computing? It's a cost effective and unlimited storage, like backup and recovery, and lot of flexibilities are there. Lot of flexibilities are there. Fine. This is where we stopped in yesterday's, I mean, our last session. So now there is a need of cloud computing. Please listen carefully. Now there is a need of cloud computing. See, obviously, I'll tell you 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you ask me who is the number one cloud service provider, undoubtedly I'll tell you AWS, because still AWS is leading the market share, and followed by second place is leading by the Microsoft Azure, and third place is leading by GCP, and last Huawei. So AWS is still leading the market cloud share. These are the top four major cloud services which are available in the cloud market. So now there is a question. So you people may have a question. We have a AWS is the number one cloud service. So why, which cloud, or why you are going to teach Microsoft Power BI or else Microsoft Fabric? You have a that question. Let's see. So if you see in this course, we are going to learn Microsoft Azure. Why? Because, so let me tell you a one example. So let me tell you a one example. Okay. Now uh, let let me go to this one. So let me go to this one. Okay, before that, let me tell you this slide. Okay, here, if you see, this is one of the cloud market share, which I take the snapshot from one of the website. So here, if you see, let me explain you clearly. Here, if you see, as mentioned by me, so this is top one. So here, if you see first place. So here, please listen carefully how you need to read this chart. See here, lot of cloud services are there: AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, and remaining are there. Others is also there. So here, if you see where the AWS started, AWS started, I would say 59% market share in 2017. Here, if you see in x-axis, we have the years. Till we have this 2025, it started at, I would say, 59 or 58, and it went to the 79%. Fine. And where Microsoft Azure started, it's, I think it's around in between 40 to 60 minutes. It's 45%. Here, if you see 45%, see in 2022, it crossed AWS also. See, it crossed AWS also. 80% people are using in 2022 Azure Cloud, and this, I think it's a 78 or something using by the people by the AWS. So in the same way, there are some fluctuations are there. There are some up and downs are there. Still, AWS is leading the race at the point of cloud, and the second position goes to the Microsoft Azure. Then here, if you see, Google Cloud is in the third position. See, Google Cloud is also has a very significant growth. Almost it started at 18 or 17%. It reached up to the 45% of the market share. See, here, if you see, let's say it's almost, if I draw a line here, almost AWS line is like a straight line. There is no much changes. But here, if you see, it is started here and goes and crossed a couple of years with AWS cloud, and still it is leading a major. Chaitanya, you are on mute. Can you please go on mute?
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, fine. So this is about. So here, can anyone tell me why we need to go for Azure, or why we are not learning AWS or GCP? I mean, in terms of cloud point of view.
Um, Comparatively, AWS might be the Microsoft Azure is the cheapest one.
Yes.
And most of the organization, like, they'll go with Microsoft Pro assets like products. So probably, like, though we are learning Power BI, this is also part of that Microsoft product, right? So probably like that could be an advantages.
Yes, great.
And
So
and also, like, as we noticed that, mid of 2021, like, though it is in the year of 2017 it's less, but it crossed AWS, and again there's a huge competition between AWS and Azure, and probably, like, it may cross again AWS in future.
Yes, great, great. Okay, let me tell you one example.
And sir, one more question actually that you just mentioned there are four important cloud this
Yes,
one, right? How I where is it? Who I'm not finding in that graph itself, right?
actually, see, in this graph, there is actually this is updated one, and this one is the oldest, I mean, old slide.
Okay, okay,
Actually,
okay.
this today I took this snapshot from one of the website. Actually, I have the old this graph. In that we have Huawei, but that graph I have the stats for only till 2022.
Okay, sir, got it. Now I think it's fourth one is Oracle, right? As per
Yes,
this.
yes. I need to
Okay,
change that slide. Fine, thanks. Okay,
thank you,
now
sir.
let me go on tell you. So here, see, let's assume in KSR, actually, for tracking the students who is paying and who is not paying, for maintaining the all accountability. Actually, in last week, I had a discussion with Mahesh. We plan to hire one accountant. Do you know accountant? What accountant will do? Just he will do the, in any organization, what the accounts people will do. They will do the all mathematical calculations related to the any organization, like how much salary we are paying to the employees, or else how much amount we are paying to the products, or how much amount we are contributing towards the advertisements and all. Like that, what happened, actually Mahesh went to one of the colleges for hiring a accountant. I mean, accountant means directly not accountant. We are planning to hire a intern, accountant intern. So for that, what happened, just a minute, Mahesh went to few colleges. Yeah, here, so Mahesh went to first college one. Let me increase the size. First, he went to college one. So this is college one. Let me take college two. This is college two. See, college two. So almost everything was completed, and we are two in college one. What happened? One candidate selected. One candidate selected. So that student, okay, student from college one. So here, if you see, this student scored um, English. Okay, for example, English 90%. So then later, computer science 90%. Then maths. Okay, maths, he scored 70%. So total how much? Total, total 160, 160 plus 250,
Okay.
250 marks. So in the same way, so in the college two, what happened? So college two, from the student, English, he scored 70. Two students are selected from both the colleges. From this college, one student, from this college, one student. Computer science 80. Computer science 80. But in the maths, here, he or she scored 100. Now here, if you see, 100, 180 plus 70, same score, 250. Now from this, can anyone tell me which student is Mahesh is going to hire from this, or
College two.
College two.
any reason, team?
Because maths, his score is
Accountant
100, right?
means
Account
required a
required that
calculation.
maths.
Yes. Accounts required that match. That's how. So here, so now you people are guessed correctly. Very good answer. So now here, if I go here, why particularly we are choosing the Microsoft Azure? You know, Microsoft Azure is a product from Microsoft. Whatever the Power BI, we are going to learn Power BI or else Fabric is everything for this Fabric, for this Power BI, for this Azure. Who is the parent? Parent is Microsoft. So then there is no integration. There is no need to set up uh, heavy like a gateways and all. So that's how it is. Even though, and I'll give you one layman example now. iPhone is known for very security and good quality of phone. iPhone is known for it's having a tight security and as well as very quality phone in the market. But why everyone is not using iPhone?
Budget issue, probably.
Yes, budget issues and preferences, because everyone has their own preferences. Let's say few people will like Samsung, few people will like something, but even though it is a number one phone in the market, doesn't mean that everyone needs to use it. That's how here we are going to learn the Microsoft Azure. Fine. Now, so what is this Azure? Here, if you see, Azure is a just a platform. It's a compute cloud platform. Here, if you see in Azure, we have 200 plus services are there. In Azure, if you see 200 plus services are there. So if you would like to build a website, you can build. If you would like to build a Android app, you can go and build it. And it's like a online website. It's like a online website. So in this, mainly in Azure, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn data related products, like how we can store the data, how we can transform the data, how we can clean the data. Why? Because for reducing the burden on the Power BI, for reducing the burden on the Power BI, because even though Power BI is one of the best tool, so we are we don't want to overcomplicate the Power BI. We don't want to overcomplicate the Power BI. Fine. So Power BI and Azure is a good combination for solving the business problems. How? Power BI and Azure is a good combination for solving the problems, and how? Let me tell you. So before jumping into that Power BI and Azure combination, first let's talk about Power BI core components. Power BI core components. Here, if you see, there are four core components in the Power BI. So one is Power Query Editor. Second one is Power Pivot. Third one is Power BI Services. And fourth one is Power View. First, let me talk about Power Query. So Power Query is a component where you can clean the data, where you can transform the data. See, whatever the data you are getting from your clients, it's a uncleaned data. So no client will give you the clean data. It's a uncleaned data. So by using this Power Query, you can clean the data, you can transform the data. And while coming to the Power Pivot, once the data is cleaning completed, now here you can build the modeling. Here you so anyhow we are going to talk in detail in our Power BI sessions about this all components. This is about Power Pivot. And while coming to the Power View, so Power View, where you need to build the charts, you need to build the chart like line chart, column chart, area chart, and some other charts which we are required for our business problems, to solve the business problems. And once if it is everything is completed, now how we can share the report with our clients. Like I need to share my report with my CEO, or else my board of directors, or else I need to share with the my end users. How? By using the Power BI services. This is the last component in Power BI. Actually, one, two, this is third one, and this is the Power BI services. Fine. These four all are the core components which we are going to learn in the Power BI module. Fine. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, here, if you see, Power Query is from the Power BI desktop. Power Query is from Power BI desktop. So it doesn't mean that Power BI is providing all facilities to us. No need to burden it by using the Power Query. So then what is the replacement for this Power Query in cloud? It's nothing but Azure Data Factory, your ADF. ADF, Azure Data Factory. So whatever the transformations in local Power BI desktop we are going to do with this Power Query, the same transformations we can do it in the cloud with the help of Azure Data Factory. With the help of Azure Data Factory. This is fine. Now let's go and see Power Pivot. So power pivot here, what we will do? So in local, we have a power pivot, the same component. In data flow, there is a separate concept called data flow. By using this data flows, we can build a models, we can clean the data. It is also like a kind of a cleaning component in the Azure data factory. Okay, fine. So two components are clear. So that's why, that's why if you see here, this power query and this power pivot, these two are replacing with the Azure data factory components. These two are replacing with the Azure data factory components, and these two still we are going to use Power BI desktop only. Why? Because in Azure we don't have any tool to build visuals. If you would like to build the charts, you can build it in the services. You can build it in the services, but not in the Azure. So that's why this we can do it in the Power BI desktop. This we can do it in the Power BI services as a cloud. Fine. Okay. Now in the same way, we need to talk with the database in one common language. What is that language? SQL. So here in local, we are going to learn MySQL. But while coming to the cloud, in cloud, we are going to learn Azure SQL. We have a separate component called Azure SQL. From there also, we can practice the same set of queries. What we are going to learn in this course in MySQL, the same queries we can create the tables, we can drop the tables, we can insert the data, we can update the data, we can do everything in the Azure SQL database, also in the Azure cloud. Okay, this is how your SQL will help you in the cloud. Fine. Now let's see the challenges. See here, Power BI and Azure, but these things are keep on hearing, but as of my knowledge, so far I worked 15 plus Power BI projects. Nowhere I faced this kind of problems, but keep on hearing some rumors and some issues also from other projects. Let me tell you what are those problems. So here if you see cost implications, so for this cost implications, now here let me tell you one thing. Let me brief one common example. Let me go to my notepad. So here if you see actually I have some very tight schedule day-to-day basis. That's how my work is hectic work. So for that, what I assume, I need to hire a maid. First, what I'll do. So let me take text here. Let me increase the font size. I hire a maid. Okay. So what she will do? So this maid will do the cleaning vessels, okay, and also cleaning floor. Okay, let me increase the font size. Cleaning vessels and cleaning the floor. Okay, and I hired this maid on first of the month. Here, let me change this to some black color. Okay, first of the month. And also let me rename this as a maid one. Okay, so I hired this maid to clean the vessels and cleaning the floor. Okay, then after that, and it's very hard to cook the food because I'm staying alone in my room. There is no one is in my room. So also I'm not getting time to cook the food and eating the food. So for that, what I thought, again I plan to hire a maid. So again I hired a maid. Let me rename it to maid 2. Okay, let me copy this. Then the responsibility of this maid 2 is just cooking food means breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast and lunch, dinner. And I hired this maid on 10th of this month. 10th of this month. Fine. Now, what's happening here? So I'm busy with my work. Okay, I'm busy with my work. So here they both are what they are clashing. Because why clashing? See here, if you see, there is a dependency. Why there is a dependency? If maid one comes to the 9 a.m. to my house, if maid one not clean the vessels, this maid two not able to cook the food. Why? Because for cooking the food, maid to need vessels. Without vessels, unable to cook the food. That's how. So daily some clashes are happening, something is happening. Okay, this is also one thing. And also one thing, if I hire a maid, I need to pay the amount. For this maid, I'm paying 10,000 per month. I'm paying 10,000 per month. Here if you see 10,000. And for this maid, I'm paying 12,000 per month. And sometimes I am confusing also. Why? Because which maid I hired on the 1st of the month and which maid I hired on the 10th of the month. This is also confusing. And so what happening slowly, they are clashing between them and they are not doing the work properly. They are not doing the work properly. Okay. So to solve this problem, so what I did, so I hired a maid again who knows cooking and cleaning. So who knows cooking and cleaning? Cooking and cleaning. So here there is no dependency, because why? If you see, maid 2 needs to depend on maid 1, because if the vessels are not cleaned, unable to cook the food. So that's how the dependency issue is solved. And for maid here, if I calculate total 22,000 I need to pay. But here what I did, just I am paying 15,000 for cleaning and cooking. For cleaning and cooking. So that's how. So why I brought this example here? If you go and see cost implications, so here obviously for Power BI I need to pay the amount. If I would like to build the reports, I need to share with the reports. I need to buy a Power BI license, and if I need to use the Azure services, I need to use a Azure subscription also. I need to take a Azure subscription. So that's how this first one, cost implications and complexity integration challenges. Here if you see complexity and integration challenge, that's how. Here if you see in this maid example also, there are some dependencies, there are some, they need to communicate well between each of them. Otherwise it's very hard to get food for me. Otherwise it is very hard to get food for me. So here also, if you see complexity and integration challenges, and there are some dependency. See, as I mentioned earlier, there are some dependency also is there. Some data security and compliance. Then what is the solution? Then if you see, then what is the solution? So now the solution is here. If you see Fabric, so Microsoft is come with a one latest update, not latest. So it's around 2 years ago in October 23rd. So May 23rd, November 2023. Sorry, May 23rd, 2023. So Microsoft came up with a one beautiful tool called Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric. Actually, it's when they was launched, it's in the public preview. But general availability in November 2023. If I am not wrong, in general availability, they launched in November 2023. It's a 2 years in the market. It's a 2 years in the market. Microsoft Fabric is a place where you will get all the data driven challenges, it's a unified single data and analytics platform. It's a unified single data and analytics platform. Okay, fine. Now let's see what is this Microsoft Fabric. So here, if you see Microsoft Fabric, so Microsoft Fabric, so as I mentioned earlier, it's a unified data platform with AI transformation. You will get data factory, analytics, databases, real-time intelligence, and Power BI also one of the core component among the Microsoft Fabric. And it is powered by some of the security governance purview and one like your OneDrive and AI capabilities are there. So it will have these components like data factory, analytics, database, real-time intelligence, Power BI. This is, and here if you see the complete Microsoft Fabric architecture, this is how it will look like. This is how it will look like. So here, see, that's what I'm telling you. Fabric is a version. Fabric is a version. It's not, nothing. It's not only belongs to data analytics and not belongs to data science or data engineering. Fabric is a version. In that, we are going to learn just data analytics part. Here, if you see, data factory is there and data engineering is there. Data science is there, data warehousing is there, real-time intelligence is there, and Power BI is there. Here, if you see in this, you may have a question. What are the tools I am going to learn in Microsoft Fabric? So I'll tell you one of the tool we are going to learn is data factory, and another tool we are going to learn is data warehousing, and another tool we are going to learn is Power BI, which is already we are calling it as a Power BI services. So why can't we learn data engineering, data science, and real-time intelligence? Here, you people are joined for data analytics course, not for the data engineering or data science or real-time intelligence. That's what I am telling you. If you would like to use this data engineering or data science, you need to learn more coding. You need to learn more coding. So in here, if you see real-time intelligence, we have a language called KQL. And here, if you see in data warehousing, that SQL like TSQL is good. And the data factory, they mentioned Spark, but we are not going to use Spark. Here, for orchestrating the pipelines, we are going to use the data factory. Just if you want to copy the data from our on-prem to cloud, we are going to run the data factory. And if you need to, if you are going to use any transformations, if you want to call data flows in the data factory, then we can use the data factory. But majorly, this Spark language belongs to the data engineering. Majorly, this Spark language belongs to the data engineering. And here, if you see this one lake is like your OneDrive. You can store the data from any of the services which is mentioned here by using this shortcuts mechanism. By using this shortcuts mechanism, if your data resides in the GCP environment, then you can bring that data into the your one lake by using this shortcut measure. In the same way, if your data is sit in the AWS buckets, then you can bring like this. You will have lot of options, lot of flexibilities, and you can mirror the data also. I'll talk about this mirroring and the shortcuts when we came into the Fabric in details. Okay, I'll talk more on in Fabric sessions. Fine, for now it's enough. Okay, fine. Now
Hi, Babu, I have a query. Like
yes, yes.
this one lake is also a part of Fabric, or is it different from the Microsoft Fabric,
No, it's part of Microsoft Fabric.
which we will be going to learn?
Yes, one lake is nothing but your storage point. See, if you are going to, I'll tell you one example here. If you are going to create a new table here in data warehousing, let's say customer data. So you created a table, but where this table will go and store, the table will go and store in one lake. And if you are going
It's
to
just
build a
like
Power BI
OneDrive.
report, sorry?
This is just like a OneDrive.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's like your OneDrive. Whatever the files you are creating and saving in your local machine, automatically, if your Outlook account is sync with your OneDrive, then automatically it will go and save in your OneDrive. In the same way, in Fabric, whatever the thing you are doing, if you built a pipeline, that automatically will go and save in a one lake. If you built a Power BI report, it will go and save in one lake. Or else if you build a real-time dashboard, and that will go and save in a one lake. So everything would be going and saving in a one lake, but For now, this one lake is supported by the Azure. The backend storage point is the Azure only. There is no native support for storing the data, but this one lake is supporting by the Azure, because Azure is the backend of this fabric. On top of the Azure, they built this Microsoft Fabric. They built this Microsoft Fabric. Simply, I'll tell you in easy way, whatever the components which are available. I mean, components means, when I say components, data related workloads, they're segregating that data related workloads and putting all the data related workloads in the Microsoft Fabric. They are going to reduce the burden on Azure, as well as they are going to improve their Power BI product. They are going to improve the Power BI product. See, nowadays clients are looking for single unified platform. Single unified platform. See, why Power BI is choosing mostly by the 95% of the organizations, because it's a cheap and it will have the lot of flexibilities. Let's say my data is resides in the AWS. So I will pull the data. I have AWS connector, fine, and I will build the report. Once if I publish this into the service, again I need to schedule a cloud gateway. I need to, I like it's a kind of cross cloud platform. Cross cloud platform, that we call it as a cross cloud. So it is uh, going from one cloud to another cloud. That's how here, if your data is resides in, let's say in this data warehouse, there is no cross cloud component. And here license is also here. If you go, if you take Fabric license, one single license is enough. There is no need to take the Power BI license and Azure license. And here, if I take this Azure, AWS example, here you need to take the AWS license, and you need to take the Power BI license. Here you need to take the Power BI license also. Okay, fine. So this completes our this demo class. Now here, if you see what are the opportunities for data analytics, you will get lot of opportunities in the market. So here, if you see in banking sector, e-commerce, telecom, healthcare, digital, retail, and travel. So can you tell me, okay, let me reframe my question. So can you tell me where data analytics is not there? Can you tell me where data analytics, I mean data analysis is not there? In which domain?
It's there in everywhere, I think.
Yes, it's there in everywhere. It's there in everywhere. Even though, if I take a one example, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, every day in news I am seeing, yesterday around 60,000 devotees visited the temple, and this much donation has arrived in the hundi. Like that, everyday news is. So everywhere there is a data analysis. Everywhere. See, if there is a pani puri shop, at the end of the day, that seller of the pani puri, so he will count everything. Today, how many plates sold? What is my expenditure, and how much it went, and what is my profit? Everywhere data analysis is there, because nowadays data is rapidly increasing. Nowadays data is rapidly increasing. Here, if you are see, so these are the opportunities. And here, if you ask me, majorly nowadays in each and every sector, whatever you are seeing on the screen, telecom, healthcare, e-commerce, banking, travel, retail, and digital, everywhere you will get the opportunities for data analytics. Fine. Now, so here, let me talk about the roadmap. So as part of this roadmap, from tomorrow onwards, we are entering into our first subject, SQL. Okay, we are entering into our first subject, SQL. And once the SQL is completed, we are going to learn Power BI. So this is our main primary portion of our course, where our 70% of time we will spend here. Our 70% of time we will spend here. And after that, Azure. So then Fabric. So here it's a 15%. Okay, here it's 10%, and Fabric is the 5%. Here I would say around here it is a 20 plus sessions. I would say 20 plus session means 25 hours of the content, and here 50 plus sessions. I would say here it will go up to 65 or 70 hours of the content. Here it is 20 plus sessions, and here it is 10 plus sessions, like this, as part of our roadmap. So first we will learn the SQL followed by Power BI. So in Azure we will learn major components, 4 or 5 components, and in Fabric we will learn the what is data factory, what is lakehouse, what is warehouse, and everything we are going to learn here. Now after completion of the course, you will become an expert of SQL, learn how to code in SQL. Okay, and you can also use how to create the table, how to design the table, and how we can operate means how you can update the SQL tables and all. And here, after the Power BI learning, you can build a very quality reports, very quality professional quality reports from the scratch, and you will require very good knowledge. You will learn very good. And see, as part of this starting sessions, here I'm going to use PPTs. And once if we step into the our practical sessions, there are no more PPTs. Here and there for explaining any topic, I may use PPTs, but in your 100 days of 100 hours of this session, so 90% is going to practical, only 10% are the PPT sessions. And here suppose if there are any latest updates, we are going to include that updates also in Power BI from the Microsoft, and you will gain very good hands-on knowledge on cloud services. And we are going to teach you few real-time projects. Okay, so now let's come to the KSR data vision. So here KSR data vision is a one-stop shop. KSR data vision is a one-stop shop. So where if you go and inquire in any other institute, they will teach all this, but not in the single course, because actually we curated a curriculum to gain the hands-on knowledge and real-time knowledge. See here, if I'm taking the classes here, actually I'm not a trainer for you, because I also working employee, because whatever the scenarios, whatever the struggles, whatever the challenges I am facing in the real time, the same thing here I am going to teach you the same thing. That's how live examples, everything here we are going to give you a live example and latest technology updates all in one course. If you go and check in any of the other institutes in India or abroad, no one is going to teach all these components in a single course. They will put a, let's say for example SQL, they will make a course for SQL and they will put price for that, separate price, and they will make a Power BI. And also we are telling you, no one is going to teach you Power BI for 50 sessions, because here we are going to teach everything from the scratch. Here we are going to teach everything from the scratch, and 100 hours of subject training. So 100 hours means it may go up to 120 hours also, because so we are targeting for 100 hours, but so we are not going to complete all the syllabus in 100 hours. It may go up to 120, sometimes it may go up to 130 hours also, because it depends upon the latest updates and latest technology also. Because if there is any new update, the same new update, if I am going to use in my real time, the same thing I'll include in this course curriculum. Okay, 100 hours of subject training here, and very important, that's why I'm putting star mark here. So for practicing this Power BI, you need to have a one account. So that's, let's say for example, mahesh@datavision.com. Mahesh@datavision. That's how, let's say Rahul@datavision.com. So here we are going to provide a one account to practice the Power BI services, because so we are very proudly say from KSR Data Vision, in India, we are the only one institute going and providing the license for the Power BI learners. No other institute is going to provide the license, because actually I am keep on hearing from the few of the students what usually happening. First they will join in one ABC institute, and for how many days they are teaching, Power BI? Just they are teaching 10 days. And even they are not going to give you any license and anything. Simply they are telling, this is column chart, this is bar chart, this is DAX, this is Power Core Editor, and if you don't know or if you are not practicing, how you will get the hands-on knowledge? How you will get the hands-on knowledge? That's how here everything, whatever I'm teaching in this class, you need to practice it daily. Suppose let's say today I demonstrated about some data cleaning. You need to practice on the same day. So everything you had the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge on Power BI services, let's say tomorrow in interview they will ask how you will share the report. They will ask you to explain the procedure, step by step procedure. If you don't have hands-on knowledge, how you will explain? That's how we are very proudly say we are only the institute in India providing the Power BI license. Then real-time projects, as mentioned earlier. So we are going to teach real-time projects in this course, and also along with this you will get resume preparation assistance, interview guidance, and soft skill guidance. Like somewhere what sometimes what we are doing, we are planning to host, we are bringing a HR and we are conducting a workshops where you can join and you can ask whatever the questions you are facing in your real time, or else if you are facing any questions from the recruiters, then you can join that workshops, you can clear your doubts. So your interview guidance, your resume preparation, and soft skills training and everything will be taken care by the KSR Data Vision. Fine. So today what I'm going to do, so today so I'll stop here because I need to catch the bus. So now what I'll do, tomorrow onwards we are going to jump into the our main core subject SQL. So what is this SQL? So what steps, which SQL we are going to learn and how to install, and I'll walk you through that. So meantime, now I am opening the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So in Fabric, you explained about that a data factory, right?
Yes.
So that one and in Azure Data Factory, they both are same. It's just
Yes.
like everything is at one platform.
Yes. See, that's whatever the Azure Data Factory which was there in your Microsoft Azure, the same thing here they replicated, but with few enhancements and few upgrades. So that's how, if you see, let me go back. So here if you see, the logo is like this one. In the same way here, if you come to the Fabric, so in the Fabric this is the logo. So they changed it. In the Azure, they are using the blue color. Here they are going to use the green color. I mean, the similar kind of functionalities, but there are few advanced capabilities in the Microsoft Fabric than your Azure Data Factory.
Okay, so then what about the people who are using SQL and not Azure Data Factory? They are using some Snowflake database or some other Amazon Web Services. So what about those companies then who are
See,
using Power BI, who are using SQL, but instead of Azure Data Factory, they are using Snowflake database cloud?
yes, for that in Power BI we have there are two things here. One is, let's assume you mentioned Snowflake or GCP database or some other things are there. So your Power BI will support for 100 plus connectors. By using that connector, you can directly pull the data from your Snowflake database or GCP database or AWS database into Power BI. That is one point. Or else, here if you see, when I'm explaining this slide, there is a mechanism called shortcut mechanism. Let's say, as mentioned by you, your data is in Amazon S3 brackets or GCP BigQuery or this one. Directly by using this shortcut method, first you can bring the data into one lake. Once if you bring the data into one lake, you can connect your Power BI desktop with one lake and you can build the report. I hope I answered your question.
So that Power BI is Power BI service.
No, you can directly connect to Power BI desktop also, not only Power BI service.
Okay. So
Sorry to interrupt here.
everything is one platform.
Yes. Yes, please.
As you mentioned, in case like if the data is in different cloud services, apart from that Azure, like
Mm,
GCP or Amazon, AWS or somewhere. So as you mentioned, like through shortcuts method, we can bring that data to the one lake, and from there you can start, analyzing. You can do that data transformation, and we can build the Power BI reports and so on.
mm.
So, but my question is like, is that method it may vary for different cloud services, right? Like all the steps, like whatever the steps which are following for getting the data from the Azure, it may differ from getting the data from AWS, and it may differ from getting the data from GCP, right? Are we going to learn all the, different, how to bring up the data from the different services here, or like only you are going to teach only how we can get the data from the Azure?
No, majorly here, we are focusing on how we can bring the data from Azure services and as well as Fabric services like data warehouse and lakehouse. And from these existing services, just I'll give you a overview. Let's say, for example, go GCP. Here, if you see, let's say, for example, for GCP, from GCP BigQuery. So by using the GCP BigQuery or GCS, Google Cloud Storage, how we can bring the data? I'll show that on a high level, but not in depth.
Okay, like only high level.
Yes, because it's
Again, is
not
that
required.
much complicate, to getting the data through shortcuts from the different cloud services to that one lake? Is that much difficult, or it's quite simpler one?
No, it's depend upon the data size. If your data volume is less volume, then it's easy. The process is same. The process is same. How we are getting from the Azure Data Factory. Just see if you are going to pull the data from, let's say, for example, Azure SQL database, you need to provide some credentials or some service secret keys. In the same way, from if you would like to bring the data from, for example, here GCP, so you need to pass the service account email and service account key. That's how it works.
Okay, similar but little bit changes.
Yes.
Okay, why I'm asking, because a few of the organization they may not use Azure, right? Rather than Azure, they may use AWS or GCP. So in that scenario, might be like we are going to, face challenges. So that's what like, is it enough to, resolve or debug such kind of challenges from our end, or like, or we need any special assistance once
No,
we go through
see,
this,
actually,
once we learn through this course? Is that enough, or like again we need to go deeper, deeper and deeper?
no, no, I you see already. So for that, see, that's what I'm telling you here. One thing, please note that everyone. So whatever the things we are not so see all the things, it's very tough to accommodate in a single course. That's why few of our trainers and me also we are making some YouTube videos separately. So let's say if you ask me, how we can connect by using these shortcut methods, already we have a we made a video. I mean, it's a old video, it's not the updated one. Again, we are trying to make a one updated video. You can go through there, you can watch that video. That's how, anyhow, in this course, I'm going to provide you how we can bring the data from any one of the below external services. Either it could be AWS or either it could be GCP. So I am going to show when, not now, when it come to the Microsoft Fabric sessions. At the time, I am most probably I am going to I will pick any one of from this AWS or GCP, because these two are the outsider from the Microsoft environment. The remaining Azure is the this blob is in-house product of Microsoft.
Yeah, got it. Thanks for that. And one more question, like, this Microsoft Fabric, you said that, if you get one license, it's more than enough. We are not going gain individual, licenses like Azure separate, Power BI separate, and so on. So,
Mm-mm.
is it similar to that, the software like Power BI, how we can install in our local machine, like desktop version, something like that? We supposed to install this once we get the license, Microsoft Fabric, or like it's a or directly we can get it through link or something like it's
No,
is
no, 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 sir. Actually, Power BI software installation is not dependent on license. You need to install it. First point number one. Without any license, you can install it, Power BI. So for practicing the charts, for writing the coding things, and for cleaning the data, license is not at all required. So
Correct.
when the license is required, so when you are going to share these reports with your clients, then only you will need this license.
Okay, I mean, like, for sharing the reports to the client, we need this Micro Fabric license.
Yes.
Okay. It is kind of cloud environment only again.
Yes, it's kind of cloud environment, because that's why Microsoft is also so brilliant. For practicing, they are not charging anything from us. For sharing, if suppose let's say I built a report, you are my client, I built a report, I need to share with you. So how I can share? So if you are in my hometown, or else if you are living nearby my home, directly I will bring my laptop, I can show you. But if you are somewhere in Mumbai, or I am in somewhere in Bangalore, how I can share? That's where Microsoft is also very brilliant. For practicing and everything, they are not going to charge anything. If you would like to share this report with any other one, then you need to take the license. Then only you will get all the facility to share with your clients.
Even for connecting the databases also from the different sources, right? We need the license. For example, only once we get the data through Excel or some smaller stuff, like we no need, license. But in case if you are getting the data from the cloud services or some complication sources,
Mm.
again, I think so. Like we need license, premium or pro kind of, right?
No, no, no. Please, here I'll tell you one thing. You need license, not Power BI license. You need that. Let's say, for example, let me just a minute. Let me clean it again. Let me put it. So let's assume here Power BI is there. So let's assume that as for some time Power BI desktop. You need to connect your GCP database to Power BI. So in Power BI desktop, you need credentials of Power BI, this GCP license, not Power BI license. You can bring the data and you can pull the data, you can build it. Once if you are going and publishing this into the services, then you need a license. Then you need a license.
Okay, only for the sharing purpose, you mean to say, right?
Yes. So if you would like to connect with, let's say, for example, GCP, you should have a GCP credentials. Because when you are going and connecting to the GCP database, it will prompt you to enter the credential. Let's say Rahul at the rate xyz.com and your password. When you enter that password, and in GCP also you have a lot of things. For example, from GCP side, GCP admin need to grant the access on certain database. Once if you have all the privileges to the database, then only you can get the data into Power BI
Or
desktop.
be okay.
So either we can connect GCP to Power BI or we can connect GCP to Data Factory.
One lake, then
One leg to Data Factory.
Yes, you
For
can connect it to one leg to Data Factory also. No, here
so
I'm
once
talking about the desktop.
okay, so once in Data Factory everything is done like cleaning, data cleaning and everything, then we can import that data from Data Factory to Power BI desktop.
Yes.
Okay.
sir, is it possible to do all that cleaning and all in the one lake? It is not possible, right? On
No. See, one leg is like just for
just
your
storing purpose,
storage,
like
like
one
our
drive.
OneDrive.
Okay,
Yes.
got it, sir. Thanks.
Sir, actually, I have one question.
Yes.
When, if suppose we are importing data from multiple sources, let's say we are importing from GCP and
Mm,
AWS,
mm,
and as you said, the one lake is a staging there, right?
mm,
So, while we import data from different sources, so the whatever the transformation we are going to do
mm.
on the initial data, that would be different for both of these sources, or is it the same one? Like how?
Let me tell you. So you are going to import data from two different databases. Let's say, for example, AWS and GCP. Okay, you imported two tables in the one lake. Once if the data is comes into the one lake, so in Fabric, it will take it as a one single unified source. So till the data is loaded into the one lake, it's from two different sources. Till the data is loaded into the one lake, it's from two different sources. Once if it is came into the your one lake, it's a single unified service. From there, you can connect it to the data factory. You can clean the data, you can transform the data, and once if it is ready, you can push it to data warehouse. Then you can connect it to the Power BI.
Okay. So the transformation would be same for any like different data sources, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Sir, actually, I have another question.
Yes, yes.
Uh, uh, do we have Power BI gateways in this curriculum?
Yes, we have. We will install the gateway. How we can connect the your on-premises data to the cloud. Everything I am going to show you.
Okay, okay. Fine.
So are we going to learn any API connections like?
Yes, we have but not the restricted APIs. We are going to learn the public API connections.
Okay. And one more point you just mentioned just a few seconds back, like we are doing all data transformation in the ADF,
Mm,
and after that, once the data is ready, then we are moving to the data warehouse, and
mm.
from there we are connecting to the Power BI. Is it possible that directly once the data is ready, then can we connect Power BI directly to the ADF, or make sure the data warehouse is mandatory in between?
Okay, very good question. Let me explain you. Uh, See, this is ADF. Uh, Text is very used. Okay. Mm. So, okay, let me delete it. Let me take this one. ADF. So, ADF stands for Azure Data Factory. Okay, Azure Data Factory. Okay, let me make it to blue color. Okay. So now raw data. So let's assume this is raw data. Raw data. You connected this raw data and you are pulling this data into the Azure Data Factory. So once you pull the data here, everything is ready, your cleaned data is ready. See, Azure Data Factory is known for cleaning the data, for not storing the data. Okay, Azure Data Factory is known for cleaning the data, not for storing the data. So later what you need to do, you need to push it to some storage. Either it could be data warehouse or else data lakehouse. You can connect it to the store, you can push it to the storage. Once if it is completed, then you can connect it to the Power BI. So this is possible. And whatever the thing, I mean, you are asking, this is not possible. So because ADF is known for only data cleaning, ADF is only known for data cleaning. So once if it is cleaning is completed, so this storage could be your Azure SQL DB or data warehouse or data lakehouse. It could be anything, but it needs a storage. So connecting directly from Azure Data Factory, not possible. Connecting from any storage, it's possible.
So my question, for example, in one scenario, like I'm getting the raw data from the multiple sources, and I'm
Mm,
putting into the ADF. But I'm facing the challenge, like getting data to the Power BI directly. It is quite difficult for me. So I just use ADF in between just to
mm,
get the data. I will
okay.
not do any transformation in the ADF.
Mm.
So whatever the data is there in ADF, I can push it to the Power BI where I can do the Power Query. I mean, like data transformation in the Power Query, right? Is it?
See, ADF, as I mentioned in the PPT, we have a two kind of workloads are there, Power Query and data flows. By using these two, you can clean the data. Once the data is cleaned, that's what I'm
No,
telling.
I don't want to clean the data. Only I'm using ADF just to get the data from the multiple sources.
Okay, then
Then whatever the data is come to the ADF,
mm,
then I'll push you to the Power BI. Power BI, we do have an option, right? Power Pivot,
yes,
where
Power
I can
Query
do
edit.
that Power Query editor, where I can
Mm.
do the transformation. Later, I'll build that report, then I'll publish it.
No, no,
Is not
there is
possible.
no option to push directly from ADF to Power BI. You need to use the intermediate layer, storage layer.
Oh, it could be anything like
Mm.
data warehouse or data lake, or you just mentioned
Azure SQL
Azure
database. In
SQL.
Azure, for storing the data, usually we will use this Azure SQL database.
Okay.
There is no direct connector, or else that's not possible, because it's not feasible also. Actually, in Power BI desktop, you don't have direct connector to ADF. You have the connector to connect with Azure SQL database, or else Fabric data warehouse, or else Fabric data lakehouse, or else Azure Blob or ADLS also. But there is no ADF.
Okay. What is
But
DW?
his
What is it? DW?
Data warehouse.
Oh, data warehouse and data lake.
Mm.
but his
What
main
could be the
concern is
difference, sir?
that
Again, why all this? Why can't I mean like one standard one? Like, is there any all these components or the storage, things based on the capacity of or the size of the data? Again, we are going to use this different data
Now,
storages.
I'll tell you. See, this Azure SQL database from Azure environment, and
Okay,
this data warehouse and data lakehouse is from Fabric environment.
fabric environment.
Yes, Fabric environment. Mm. This is from Fabric
Babu,
environment.
so so if we don't want to do any data cleaning, can't we get the raw data into the database directly and then connect it to Power BI and excluding ADF in between?
Yes, if you that's what. If you have your, let's say for example, if you have your let me show you. So here, okay, let's say your data is in the SQL. If you would like to connect directly with Power BI desktop without using the ADF, it is also possible. You can connect it. We have a Azure SQL database.
so no matter how big the data is, nothing to worry. We can directly connect from SQL to
But
Power
SQL,
BI.
it's, as per that earlier classes, up to 2 GB, right? If I'm wrong.
No, no, this is Cloud SQL. I'm telling. This is Cloud
Okay, Cloud
SQL.
SQL. Okay.
It's yes, yes. There is no limitation for connecting, but once if you would like to publish into the Power BI services, then license should be matter. If you have pro license, according to the pro license, there is a certain limit. You can only publish that much amount of data into the services. And if you have premium, then you can publish that much amount of data only. The for pulling the data into the Power BI desktop, there is no limitation. You can pull up to how much data is there.
Okay. So this ADF is extra kind of.
Yes, that's see. If
But
you
as per your answer, is free desktop it is capable of handling more than 10 GB or 100 GB data. It is not possible, right? Again, we need license even for the storage also, right, sir?
yes, see, that's what. If you see, if you attended our last two sessions, even though Power BI is one of the best tool, we can't overburden it. That's how in between for cleaning the data, we are going to introduce ADF. We are going to introduce ADF. See,
Correct, but pre-version, yeah, as per that, Power BI material, like free, it can handle only 1 GB. I mean, like 1 GB Pro, 10 GB of data,
mm,
and
mm,
more than that, we are going to the premium or premium per user, something like that, right?
yes, correct.
In that context, I'm asking, you just mentioned, we can use Power BI, desktop free version irrespective of any size. I mean, like irrespective of size of the data. So,
Yeah,
but
I'll tell you. See, for loading the data, there is no limitation. You can bring the data into the Power BI desktop. You can
10
bring the
GB also.
10 GB also. But where your storage is matters, let's say you bring the data 10 GB from here, for example,
Hmm.
data into your Power BI free version into from Azure SQL database to Power BI. So everything was completed. Your data cleaning report building was completed. But how you will share? When you are going to share the report with end user, you need to publish into the services. If you would like to publish that report into the services, that's where your license comes into the picture. If you don't have proper license, you can't able to publish that report into the services.
That I agree.
Hmm.
So not
But
even
my
within the organization.
Hmm. Yes. See, I'll tell you
Okay.
one real-time example. Actually, one of my friend is working in some MNC company. Do you know what is the Power BI file size capacity? It's a 3.6 GB. It's 3.6 GB. Uh, 3.6 GB. Currently, he is holding Pro license. Okay, currently he is holding Power BI Pro license. Actually, what happening when he is publishing that report into the workspace? Usually in real time, we have three kind of workspace: dev, test, prod. Okay, publishing perfectly, but what happening when he is going to refresh that report in the services? Refresh is failing. One day, 2 day, he spent time to debug the issue, but still he can't able to find the issue, and he approached me. So later I dig into the issue and I'm searching. That workspace, whatever the workspace he is published, that workspace is assigned to the pro license. Okay, pro license. That's not premium license. As mentioned by me, pro license is capable up to the 1 GB storage. Okay, capable up to the 1 GB storage. Okay, but why the refresh is failing? When I saw the refresh failure error message, uh, capacity limit exceeds error. Capacity limit means he has pro license and he is trying to refresh the beyond the limit data set. So it means that then later I suggested him to check with his admin to change the Power BI that workspace license from pro to premium. Then refresh successful. Then the refresh was successful.
But
That's
how
how.
come he published at the earlier stage, like in even though it is 3.6 GB? So it should throw an error at the
No,
earlier stage
no,
itself.
no, no.
No?
It would not throw error. If it will take, but for refresh it will fail the error.
Okay.
Hmm. Because this is something I'm telling from a real time scenario, because this happened on the last month.
Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, he could have used a direct query connection as well, right?
Yes. We are going to teach direct query also.
No, I'm saying in that scenario, if we have a huge data, so instead of importing, we could use direct query as well, no?
Yes. You can use direct query also,
Yeah.
but it depends upon your requirement, client requirement, because based on your client requirement, you need to work it.
Okay.
Okay, Tim, thank you. Thanks for joining the today's session. I hope you all have more questions. So tomorrow we are going to enter into our main core subject, SQL. So if you have any questions, please park it, and tomorrow class you can ask more questions and I'm happy to answer you. So today I need to go and catch my bus. So have a good day. We'll meet you on tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.